Melissa. Happy Thursday. I am hoping that you can hear me and that you can see me and that we are live. Are we live? Can you guys tell me if we're live? Give me a thumbs up. So here is the thing. I'm super excited to be here today. I typically do not do live streams. I used to do tons and tons of Facebook lives, but Facebook kind of has changed a bit. They're not keeping videos. So here we are on YouTube. As you come in, I would love for you to smash the like button. I am 500 or fewer away from 200,000 subscribers. So I'm super excited for that. It's a big milestone. As you guys know, Silhouette School has been around now for 10 or 11 years, and we have branched out, which is why we are here today with the xTool DTF Printer. So I am going to show you, I'm going to do a live demo. I'm going to show you some of the things that I have made. You're like, what? These are not apparel. This is supposed to be an apparel printer. This can do a lot more than just apparel. You can do on whites. You can do on darks. I am going to show you how to use the software. I'm going to show you how long it takes. I'm going to show you how to press. We are going to get fully into this. You guys can see. Now, first things first, the links for everything that I talk about, whether that's the different bundles that you can get with the DTF Apparel Printer, the heater itself, there's a filter that I have that you can't see, everything, including the heat press. I even put the designs that I am going to show you into the description below. So make sure that you head over there right below and just click those if you're wondering where I'm going now. Okay, so let's get started. First things first, I am not a super good streamer, so you're just gonna have to bear with me. I have about 12 windows open on my screen, and we're gonna get through this together. If you ever have a problem, you can't hear me, you can't see me, please tell me. Please tell me, because I don't want to be up here talking to myself. Okay, let's jump right in. So first things first is that I am going to have a full collection, full series of videos on the xTool Apparel Printer. So what we're doing today is I'm going to do this live demo. Okay, so this live demo is going to be literally printing. I'm going to show you the software, but I want you to know that I do have tutorial videos that are coming. So that is going to include what you see here. These are not yet live for a certain reason. I wanted you to see this video first, and then I'm going to be dripping out these videos in over the next couple of weeks. So if you are still on the fence, do I need do I need a direct-to-film printer? Do I need the xTool one? Do I need the heater and shaker with it? What are the advantages? All of those things, we're going to cover that today. What's really going to be great is if you guys can say hello in the comments and if you can leave questions, because I want to know what you want to know, okay? All right, so with that said, what we are going to do is talk first about some of the basics of the heat press, okay? I mean, not the heat press. We got the heat press. The heat press is not even on because as soon as I plugged the heat press in and turned it on, it killed, everything else turned off. So I have to wait until we're done printing to turn the heat press on. Okay, so a couple of things. This is really easy to set up. As you saw, I have videos on that. Now, this is two different things. So this part up here is the printer, okay? It can sit on the heater and oven, or it can sit desktop. Now, what are the advantages of having the set together? Well, I'm going to tell you. Let me move out of the way and show you a little bit. So I have probably close to a dozen different DTF printers. This one is 14 inches wide as far as how large it can print. However, it does not take up a massive amount of room if you want to connect it. This is called inline with the heater and shaker. Now, what do you need the heater and shaker for? So if you don't have this heater and shaker, you have to manually, the DTF printer would print just the film. It would have the ink on there. Then you would have to use like a bin or some other method to put the powder, the adhesive powder on. Let me show you what that is. So the powder comes like this. You would have to use some kind of bin to put powder on the back. The powder is what eventually becomes the adhesive. And then you have to put it into, it almost looks like a heat press, but it's basically a baking oven. And what you end up with then is a transfer that is ready to press. Now, the benefit of having this DTF Apparel Printer is that you can get it you can get it by itself, or you can get it with the heater and the shaker. And because the heater and shaker are specifically built for this one, and they're small, I'm 5 feet tall. Okay, this is a corner of my office. This is how wide it is. Okay, so the footprint footprint of this is very, very small. The reason this is the only heater and shaker that I have is because typically they take up a large amount of foot space. Even if you have a vertical heater and shaker, they are still large and they become inline and nothing. There is no other setup like this where the printer itself sits directly on top. So that is one of the big, big benefits of this. It's easy to set up. One of the things that I really like is actually the design of the ink bottle. Now you're like, that seems kind of simple. Like so who cares? Well, what you don't realize until you've inked up a bunch of DTF printers is that a lot of times that is a super, super messy job. There are times when the hole to put the ink in is this small and the top is this big and you're trying to use a funnel and you've got ink all over the place. You're wasting ink, you're making a mess. This, as you can see, just has basically a small little spout. And I'm not going to do it right now, obviously, because I've already done it. This piece of the printer comes off, and then there's a large area, and I'll show you all of this in the other videos for the setup. So it's super easy to pour in, okay? So I love that about this. The other thing, huge benefit, is if you are already an xTool user for lasers, you use the same software for the xTool DTF printer. First thing I'm going to do is show you how easy this is to print a DTF transfer. It's going to, I will tell you, it takes what feels like an extraordinarily long time for the print to come out. What's happening is, and this is why I have my phone up here because I'm going to show you that camera view once it starts printing. But what happens is, it's going to print and then it comes into this section here, which is where the powder is. It's in a small container down here on the side, okay, nice, kept away. And then what happens is it goes through this piece, which comes all the way down to the floor, and then it comes out on the floor, and that is the heater. And I was like, where did my print go? Is it coming out? What is happening? It just takes a few minutes, about 7 to 10 minutes to come out. So we're gonna see that. But let's switch over to the software so I can show you how easy this is. Now, I made this shirt, Delaware, representing my home state. I made this earlier this week. This is a DTF transfer. If you had tried to, first of all, this is a white cotton shirt. So sublimation instantly is out, okay, for multiple reasons. Secondly, I'm not layering all this vinyl, okay? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different colors in this design. So if you wanted to do this design and you had to layer all that vinyl, it's a lot of time cutting, it's a lot of time layering. It's difficult to get it all perfectly lined up. You're doing multiple presses. It's too much. So because sublimation is out on this specific shirt and I am not doing HTV, DTF is a perfect opportunity for this. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna hop over to the software. Here is the software, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. So first of all, up here, you have your printer. Now mine is not set up, mine is not turned on, it's not connected yet. So what I'm gonna do is press this little button and I'm going to tell it to connect. Okay, it's connecting. So these are all Wi-Fi, they're all on the network. You probably saw my P2 is there also. They're all on my network. So I'm not physically wired. Whoops. Oh boy. Hold on, I lost my view. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Okay. So I'm not physically wired from my computer to my printer, which means when I'm in my other office, which is across the room over here, probably 30 feet away, I don't have to be physically connected to send to the printer. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. First thing, I'm going to literally just open up a design. So I'm going to go to open design, image, and I'm going to find my image. Now, in this case, well, let's find another state. I live in California now, so let's find California. Okay, so also I should mention these states, these retro states are from, are you seeing my screen? Are you guys able to see that I pulled in? Why is it not showing you? Oh, there we go. It's just maybe a delay. Okay, so what I'm pulling, completely lost my train of thought. These states that I'm going to show you, I have the link in the description below. You can get individual states, whatever your home state or whatever, or you can get the whole bundle. So those are available. They're PNGs, so good for sublimation or DTF. Okay, So as you can see, this is obviously comes in very, very large. So I have it selected. I'm just going to go up here and I'm going to change the size. So I'm just going to put this to 8 inches wide. And where did it go? Well, it's just somewhere else on my screen. So I need to just pull this over. All right, now here I have my design, okay, my California design. What it's measuring is actually the bounding box. So if I want to get a more accurate measurement, I can do crop, okay? And I'm just gonna crop it in a little bit so that I get a more accurate measurement of the design area itself, okay? And we'll do that. So now, save that. And now I can see my design is about 6 by 7. I think for a sweatshirt, I'm gonna want it a little bit bigger. Okay, and maybe let's rotate it. Well, actually, I will leave it there for right now. Okay. Next thing is I'm actually going to bring in some other designs because I want to fill in this space. And I also am going to show you a second demo after, but let's print them all at the same time. Okay. So I can go find my other design on my computer. And I'm going to pull it in here in a second. So what you could see is I can go to that image icon or I can just drag and drop. In this case, I'm just going to drag and drop. So this is a full set of designs as well. This set is part of the Christmas ornaments set, which is part of the Throwback Thursday bundle, which is actually back just today on SoFontsy. I linked that as well. Okay, so let's pull another one in. I'm going to use this one as well. Okay, so these I'm actually not going to put on a shirt. You're like, this, I'm not sure this is going to look good on a shirt. Yeah, don't worry. I'm not actually going to use this for a shirt either. Okay, so what I'm going to do for these is I want these to be about 3.25, and you'll understand why after I print them. So 3.25. Okay, now that is all we need to do. The designs are in here. All I need to do now, I can see that my shaker oven is also on, is up to temperature. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press print. Okay, now you see it mirrored my design, right? We need that for DTF. You see, I didn't have to do anything with the white. It's automatically going to be added on there. And now I need to just hit print. Okay? It's telling me that the task is created. You hear that. Now, I'm going to show you, and I'm going to give you a different view. Hopefully, where it starts printing, you'll be able to see. Here we go. Okay. So this is what's wobbling is my camera on top. I really just wanted you guys to see this view. Don't worry, that is not the printer that is wobbling. It's literally my cell phone is sitting on top. I'm using that just as another viewpoint. But what you can see is that first what happens is this print head prints part of the white first, part of the color first, and then as it starts moving down, it starts laying down white as well. So we're going to see that here in a minute, that the white goes on almost at the same exact time. I might need to adjust. There we go. Oh boy, I should just leave well enough alone. Okay, so I'm gonna let this print. This is real time, okay? I also apologize for the noise in the background. You've got not only the heater that is making noise because it's heating up, but I haven't even turned on the filter yet. So I linked to the filter in the description below. The filter is very, very important. It is not cheap. The filter that I'm using is xTool's AP2 filter. It lasts a very long time. You can use it with all of the xTool machines. So I actually hook it up between the Apparel Printer, the DTF printer, they call it the Apparel Printer, and my xTool P2, which is the laser that I use the most often. As you know, I have multiple lasers, but I love the xTool P2. I link to that in the description below because what I'm going to show you is that printer and this Apparel Printer can actually be paired together to make some amazing, amazing things that you are going to be really surprised, because even though this is called an Apparel Printer, these DTF prints can be put on things like wood, like acrylic. It's unbelievable. Wait until you see how easy it is. Okay, so I'm letting this obviously print in real time. I want you guys to see. It's telling me that there's 8 seconds remaining. Now, what's going to happen, and again, I'm going to attempt to move this camera so that you can see it, what's going to happen. Oh, gosh. So, I apologize for this. what's going to happen is the print is going to come into here. Oh my God, this is so bizarre. Like I said, I should have just left the wall enough alone. How about that? See the powder? Oh, there we go. Ooh, that's good. Okay, we'll leave it there. So it's now powdering. This is the part that if you don't have an inline system, that you would have to manually do, okay? So now what it's doing, it put the powder down, now it's shaking the powder off. It's getting rid of the excess powder. And then what's going to happen after this is can you hear it? Turning on the filter. It's going to go down into the bottom of the machine, and this is the part where it's like, what is actually happening? Now, what I didn't realize, it's going to drop off, like there's a sheet cutter in here too. So it's going to cut the sheet in a second once it's done powdering. And then what's going to happen is it's going to drop down into the heater. See how it sheet cut? There it goes. Okay, now let's switch you back to see me. So what I want to show you now can you still hear me? Okay, I apologize if you can't hear me. I got this brand new mic. I feel like a podcaster. Okay, hold on. I'm going to show you something really quick. Hopefully this will work. Can you see? Oh gosh. Okay, you can't see that, so we're not going to do that part. Okay, what I was trying to show you was when you're left wondering, where is my print? Up here on this screen, it tells you, it's 20% through the heater. And so it's going to come out of there once it gets up to about 100%. So I'm going to show you. So it comes all the way to the bottom. Now, Terry is here. Hi, Terry. Terry is asking how much. So good question. And while this is going through, I'm going to actually show you that. So let's hop over. I want to show you because there are different packages. Okay, that's it. So there are a bunch of different packages. Now, this is the basic one. I linked to these in the description below, so head on over there. These are from Swing Design, where I would recommend. And part of the reason is because Swing Design is one of the only xTool retailers in the US, and they have bundles that no one else does. Because what happens is I actually end up working with Swing and saying, hey, here's what I recommend. From my experience, I would suggest putting, for example, double ink in a bundle. xTool doesn't offer that, but Swing does. And the reason being, once you pour your ink in, now, you can't see me, hold on. Now my ink is basically empty. Okay, so it's nice that after you have your whole printer set up, that you then have a spare set of ink so that if you run out, you are not out of business, right? This is an easy printer to use, but the price point is small business. Now, but the size would be perfect for in-home. It obviously looks nice, so there's a lot of benefits. So this is the basic one. It does not come with the heater. However, you can add the heater on later, but if you want to use your DTF printer, you're going to need, this is the curing oven that I was telling you about. So at the very least, you need a curing oven. I actually have this Uninet DTF curing oven that I previously used before. You would also need to have some kind, this has a built-in filter actually, so you don't even need a separate filter. But what you would do, and I've done this before, you have a large bin, like a Tupperware bin that has the powder poured in. You would hand do the powder and then put the sheet into the heating oven, and that's how you would make it. So if you're looking for the full setup, which is what this bundle is here, you're looking close to $9,000. Definitely an investment, but if you are a small shop that's selling t-shirts, or like I said, I'm going to give you even more value when I show you what else you can do with that as soon as this is finished printing. It is definitely, to me, it is worth having, especially if you're in a small space, the heater and the shaker and basically a built-in stand all together. Now, what else do you need? If you don't have an oven, if you don't have the filter, this is the filter that I'm using. You can't see it on in the video behind me because it's low to the ground, but this is the one that I'm using, the AP2, and it's a great filter. I have the old xTool filter as well, which was a fine filter, but you had to constantly be replacing the filters. This one is definitely a premium filter. So there are, like I said, then you've got options here for double ink. You've got things like one with a heat press. I'm going to show you the heat press. You've got a premium heat press. This is a Hottronics heat press. And then you've got just the oven. So if you decide later that you want to add the oven, and here's a great option. Here's a great view where you can see what it looks like, just the oven before you put the printer on top. Okay, so the printer literally just sits directly on top of there. And from the back side of this, I don't know if there's a view from the, no, there's not. But from the back side, there's basically an opening and an opening on the front of the printer. And that's where the film goes through. That's what I was showing you previously. Okay. Okay, so we are still waiting for this. So I'm going to take you back into the software while we're waiting and show you what else you can do, because this is amazing. Okay. So how do I find my software? Here we go. Okay. All right. So what we have here is my view. Let me see if I can move this. Oops. No, not that. Oh boy. Told you guys I'm not a good streamer. Well, let me just get this out of the way a little bit. I just want to pull this down here. Okay. So let's say that we want to make some Christmas ornaments or Christmas magnets. All right, that's why I printed these 2 circles. Remember, they're part of the ornament bundle. They make perfect ornaments. Well, if you go up here and you switch to your xTool laser, I'm going to update later, it's going to change my view. It's going to show what's in my laser. Okay, now I don't need this anymore, so I'm just going to delete that. But let's say I want to cut this, a matching piece on the piece of acrylic that is in my laser bed. I want you to watch how easy this is. I'm going to try to do this so you can see, because what happens is the dark color makes it difficult to see. Maybe I'll do it. Hold on a second. Give me a second. Okay, so let me just refresh. The thing that is so amazing about this is it keeps your designs in the same exact size and shape. So while this is just a circle, what I can do here, let's say I want to make an offset. Okay, so I want to make an offset and I want it to have slightly larger than the design that I have. Well, now I've done that around my little cardinal design here. And now I can laser cut this piece. Okay, you're like, but that's simple. That's just a circle. Right. But watch this. Let's go back really quick to the printer. I'm going to switch again because I want to show you what happens over here. Where did my other canvas go? Now, I have this canvas here. This is obviously a much different shape than a circle. Okay, watch this. I'm going to switch back to my P2 view. Okay, I did this one yesterday and I'm going to show you the end result in a minute. But here I printed this. I'm going to show you. I printed it. Here I printed it on my DTF printer. I haven't even applied it yet. I saved it so I could show you guys how to do it. Okay. Now, let's make an offset for that. I don't want the outer shape only. I want some inner shapes too. Actually, so I don't want to check that. Okay. And I want, let's say I want something slightly bigger. Let's just say I want 0.1. Confirm. I wish it wasn't so difficult to see. Let's do it one more time. Confirm. Okay, here, I'm going to delete this. Keep in mind, my heater is still heating. Okay, so this is when I set an excruciatingly long time. This is why I wanted to show it to you in real time, because this is what happens. Okay. Okay, so here we go. So now I can cut this. And what you can see is that I cut it in acrylic. Okay, it's unbelievable. I'm going to show you, where did I put my little piece? Okay, let me come back out of here so I can show you guys exactly what I did. So here is the acrylic that I did, and then I put the DTF right on top. So it is so easy to basically pair the DTF Apparel Printer with an xTool laser. And specifically, they both have to be xTool because of the software. The software is the key. I feel the same way about the xTool Creative Space software as I do about Silhouette Studio. It is an amazing software. I have never used Lightroom. I don't find any or feel any need to use it. So I'm going to show you how to do this. I also did it in wood, cut them on wood to make little wood ornaments. And I'm going to pause right here just to answer a couple of questions. We talked to Terry already. I came in late. We can print gang sheets. Would you recommend for people that just want to sell transfers? Okay, very good question. 2 questions in one and 2 very good questions in one. So this is limited to, it's obviously 14 wide, but 18 inches in length. So you will not get a true gang sheet. So it still hasn't printed. I don't know how long that's been, but it still has not printed. Let's see how long. Oh, it should be almost done. Oh, here it is. Oh, it's done. Yay. See? And it's fully cured on the back and ready to go. Now, give me a second. I need to turn these off so that I can plug in my heat press and that it won't, you know, kill the, it was like killing the, what's it called? Like, it was just shorting out the power. Okay, so let's turn this off. I'm just going to turn this off real quick. And then I need to turn my heat press. Also, that got rid of some of that sound. So the heat press I have at about 308 for 12 seconds. Okay, let's let this heat up and then we're going to do that. I apologize, I couldn't preheat it. Okay, so Terry, that's the first question. If you're looking for a true gang sheet, it can't be more than 18 inches. Okay, so that's one thing. However, if you are sending prints to a customer, you could just print them all continuously. Like, I mean, you could send one while one's printing, while one's in the oven, another one can be printing. Okay, so you could just have like a stack of these that you send your customer. Now, with that said, I don't know how well you can see this. Every single time you print, it comes out somewhat wrinkly. It doesn't have any effect when you go to press, but if you are sending these to customers, the sheet itself, and this has not been bent, this has not been in an envelope, nothing. It just comes out for some reason like a little wrinkled, and I don't understand what it is. It's literally everyone. I talked to someone else. They're like, "Oh, I thought it was because they got shipped to me." Nope, that's just see over here or over here. It's just how it is for some reason. Okay, so if you want to sell the transfer directly to a customer, just be aware of that. But I will tell you, this one came out just like that, and once you press it, it's totally fine. I'm going to show you that in a minute as soon as this heats up. Okay, I guess we don't need to use the camera on here anymore. Okay, now, next question. I bought one, but I haven't opened it yet. Yes, so Big DAP 100, yay for you. I am super excited for you. I will also tell you, I actually don't have a true unboxing because funny story, this thing all comes together in one giant crate. My suite, my office, is on the 2nd floor of an office building. There's like other people that work in here, not in my suite, but in like, can you see the window right here? That's like the atrium, okay, right behind my heat press. So anyway, it came on a crate, it came on a pallet, and this guy decided that he wasn't going to use his little, what's it called, crate mover thing, pallet mover thing, and he just tried to shove it onto the elevator, and because the floor in the hallway is carpet, then he couldn't move it anymore, and so I had to pay him $20. Well, I didn't have to, but I did, to have him like, we have to get this thing out of the box. You have to take all this trash in the hallway. And then I had to apologize profusely to my neighbors who were like, who is this girl? Why does she always have deliveries? Anyway, but I will say, this is on wheels. So once you get the crate open, you can kind of wheel it out. All right. Okay. So that's that. All right. Every single time. Yeah, I know. It's just like, it's always something. Okay, let me make sure this is heating up. Okay, we're at 200, so it's just going to take another minute. Now, I want to show you, this is another one that I made. This is just like this kind of wood, but that was another transfer. See how it has white? You wouldn't be able to print white on another printer, but you can print white. What is wrong? I can't figure out which side. I'm like Vanna White. You could print white on the DTF printer, which is awesome. Okay, so let me show you some of the other prints that I have printed. This one is obviously the one, I printed a couple of these. This witch one, I did that because obviously you can put on black. And I'm gonna show you on the back of this shirt because that's what you do when you do demos and tutorials all the time. You're gonna use the back. So I did this already. This is not actually DTF, this is direct to garment, but I'm going to show you how fast the process is to put this black, to put that California on this shirt. We'll do that in just a minute. I will also tell you, if you're wondering, this is, I think, probably the only thing that I didn't link. This sweatshirt, and you've probably seen me with other sweatshirts. I bought some blue ones and red ones and white ones because my kids' school colors are red, white, and blue. But they are like $9 on Amazon, and I will link to them in the description below. Maybe I can see if I can find it really quickly. Let's see. And then you guys can have that. Let me go to my orders. One of the girls should be, yeah, okay. So these are men's, but I wear it, and it's $6.20 right now. I mean, you cannot beat it. I made one for my mom. My mom came out to visit a couple weeks ago. Whoops. Hold on, I gotta get you the link, and then I gotta send it to one of the girls so they can post it for you. Or maybe I don't think I can post it. Okay, here we go. They come in a bunch of different colors. Shauna and Keisha, I'm sending the link here for the sweatshirts. So yeah, red right now I can see is $9.20. There's probably about 30 different color of these shirts. Okay, so let's see if the heat press is up to speed right now. Also, if you could see, first of all, if you knew what my office looked like behind the camera, I should have a whole show of setup for a live stream because it's kind of like what you see versus what you don't see, like Instagram versus reality. Like this is Instagram, but if you saw everything else behind, like there's a giant bulge in the carpet right here that I keep tripping over. The little part at the bottom of the heater, it kind of has like a little shelf that comes out. I keep tripping over that because there's like about 1 foot of space that I have to go over to here. Okay, this is obviously way too high when you're 5 feet tall. Okay, this is at 283. So it's going to be ready in a minute. So first thing that we're going to do, I'm going to grab, well, let's save the best for last because this is amazing. So let's take this and I'm just going to trim it apart so it's ready. You don't need any kind of cover sheet for it or anything. Now, one other thing I will say when I was telling you my pros and cons, easy setup, you know, that type of thing, the bottle design, the software. One thing that I don't care for, and I said this from the beginning when I heard about the DTF or the xTool Apparel Printer, is these holes. This is like, you know, like the vintage printers that we used to have. Maybe you're not as old as me. Maybe my mom had it. I don't know. She had a corded telephone and she had a printer like this. It has it on both sides actually. But if these are not aligned perfectly in here, it causes a jam. I have not had any jams, but I will tell you that it has to be perfectly aligned. The bigger issue that I see with this is that this is the only type of film that you can use. It comes on a roll, but try to find another 14-inch roll of DTF film that has these holes in both sides. You won't. And so it's basically proprietary to xTool. So just keep that in mind. I would probably buy an extra roll or two of that as well. All right. Thank you guys for posting the sweatshirts. Big Dap 100. Can you tell me your name so that I don't have to keep saying Big Dap 100 because I just feel a little awkward saying that. It's good. These are great. These are, I mean, they're not the heaviest sweatshirts, but I live in Southern California and actually right now I'm sweating to death with this, but I wanted you guys to see it. I think the quality is great. I think that if you're making them, especially for like sports gear, you know, fan gear, whatever, perfect, right? Okay, so we're gonna make our shirt. I'm going to put this on here. Now, again, this is an extra one that I have, so just ignore this part up here, okay? So I'm going to put it on here, and I'm going to check my pressure. Walt, can you still hear me? Make sure you can still hear me with my podcast mic. Maybe I can, no, I don't think it's going to reach all the way over there. Hopefully you can still hear me. Okay. I'm going to basically check my pressure while I do a pre-press. This is just going to pull out any humidity. I only need to do it for 5 or 10 seconds. Okay. All right. Now we're ready. Okay. I'm going to take my print. I like to fold any type of heat transfer, whether that's DTF, sublimation, vinyl. I like to fold them in half to get the middle. I am not measuring. I don't measure anything. All right. And then I just align it with the tag. Okay. 12 seconds. So 308 for 12 seconds. Now it's a cold peel. So we're going to have to wait a second for this to cool down, and then we'll peel it. Now, maybe what I can do, see if I have room over here. I can. So here it is. I can't peel yet. I'm going to wait. I'm going to put this right here, and maybe I can see if I can. Okay. Now, let's do, while we're waiting for that, let's do this little sled. Okay, the sled. Remember, we're doing this. We can do it on wood or acrylic. Since I only cut one acrylic yesterday, I'm going to do it on here. So this is, again, it matches. Remember, we did this one with the xTool, the xTool P2. So I'm just going to align it like this. Again, I'm going to place it directly on there. 8 more seconds. And I've got one more somewhere that I'm going to show you with a dark wood. So you can see what that looks like in a second. Okay. Okay, let's let that cool as well. This one's cool. I could peel this off now, but let's just do these all at the same time. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to pick either the owl. Well, let's do the cardinal because it has white printed on there, and I want you guys to see what that looks like on the dark wood. Okay, so I just have this piece, which was I had pre-cut as I think it was like 3.5-inch circle, and then this was, I think we did what, 3-inch or 3.25. Okay, so I'm just gonna put it like this. And again, this could be a coaster, this could be an ornament. These, I would not put this on like, this is not for heavy hand use. So I would not put it on a mug, no type of thing that's going to be constantly handled. But if you're putting this on a Christmas ornament or you're putting this on a sign, it's perfect. Okay, so let's do this one. I really need some tape for this one, but let's try our best. That one might not be perfectly lined up. Okay, this one's still warm. So we'll peel this while we're waiting. So, black cotton shirt, you would never be able to do sublimation. But DTF is perfect. Okay, so this is hot. I'm going to leave this for a second, and I'm going to turn off the heat press so I don't forget to do that. And then let's peel this. Show you this. I mean, seriously. And what I did with the other one is the reason that I cut the middle of the O out, which is how it asked me, do you want only the outer edge or do you want all the little inside pieces too? And I said I wanted both because I wanted to be able to string a string through here. Okay, so wood, acrylic. The acrylic, if you've ever done acrylic before in heat, acrylic gets pliable when it gets warm. However, because it's only in here for 8 seconds, it heats up, but it doesn't have enough time to get pliable. But what I do is, and that's probably, I don't know if you could see before, I had my other heat press right here. So what I typically do when I heat acrylic is I pull it directly off the hot one and I put it on here. This one's not even turned on. So I just use it to pressure, to keep it tight, to keep it flat and while it's cooling. Okay. All right. So this one is still a little warm. I also didn't get it perfectly even. Let's see. Now, if you try to peel before this is cool, if you try to peel while it's hot, you are going to get, it's not going to stick. See that? So we need to wait. Okay. A couple more questions. DAP is the name. Okay. There you go. Sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. How long does the adhesive powder last? I only have 2 bags and 2 rolls of film. So, well, I don't know to answer your question because I haven't had to replace it yet. I will tell you though, that this says xTool white powder. I mean, let me just, hold on. I don't know where it is, but I have probably 4 other bags of powder. To me, powder is powder. This does not have to be xTool brand. The ink is finicky with printheads, so I would typically suggest staying with the manufacturer recommended ink. Okay, this is still hot. Oh, here we go. Little spot up here. I mean, awesome. You could do double-sided if you want. Okay, so this is part of this design anyway, is part of that bundle that is on So Fancy. Someone was asking me another question. Vicky, what do you have stuff on while using the heat press? What do you have the stuff on while using the heat press? Are you talking about this? If you're talking about this is a pressing pillow. This is a must-have with any heat press. It is specifically to allow you to get really good even pressure, especially when you are pressing things like a sweatshirt or a baby onesie where there are thick seams, a pocket here. Because what happens is if you don't have a heat press, or if you don't have a pressing pillow, the top platen is trying to only go to the bottom platen, which has no give. And if there's snaps, buttons, zippers, a thick seam, what happens is that creates this barrier and you don't get good pressure. Have you ever tried to do a canvas bag that has handles and you're like, why can I not get this design to stick to my, that's why. You need to have a pressing pillow. They make them in all different sizes. And you can get those on Amazon too. You can get like a 4-pack for like $6. Okay. I bought 1,100. Did you buy 1,100 shirts from the link that I just sent? Because if you did, you are my hero. That was an affiliate link, and I will love you forever, Dap. You will be my best follower ever. Hopefully, you hit the like on. I'm just kidding. I'm sure you bought them. I'm sure you didn't buy them from Amazon, but that would be amazing. Anyway, what other questions do you have? So I think that we've done a lot here today. We've showed all of the full process, which I think is really important on a live demo, to be able to go through the live process to see from start to finish, from pulling a design into the software. And that is, if you've used another DTF printer, if you used other RIP softwares, you know that it can be time consuming to not only add the white layer, but then to figure out how much white you need. This does it for you. Oh, I didn't even mention, I'm a Mac user. This is one of the only RIP softwares for a DTF printer that works on Mac and PC. Unbelievable. If you are a Mac user, you have very limited options if you don't want to buy a PC to use with your DTF printer. And I apologize, I keep saying DTF printer, they're calling it Apparel Printer. I mean, let's just like, I'm calling it a DTF printer because that's what the industry calls it, and that's what you know it as. And also, to be honest, it does more than apparel. So we're just I'm not gonna be able to get out of it. Okay. All right. What other? Okay. Terry makes her own pressing pillows. Yes, you absolutely could. It's literally just a piece of foam, Teflon, like a large Teflon sheet. It's 3 seams. I mean, 3 straight lines. Because this side didn't even, you just fold it over. So you could certainly do that as well, but these are cheap enough. They come in different sizes. They come in like sleeve length. They come in squares. They come this full size, but highly recommend that you get this. This heat press also I love. I'll just point this out. I didn't do it while we were on here, but this is the slide out heat press, which is great because I'm not working directly under the heat. Now I would never leave if I put a transfer on a shirt, I would never just leave it on here to cool because it's getting the radiant heat from the top. But this is great if you're, when you're going to arrange your shirt, if you're like, okay, I don't want to get I don't want to be working directly under the heat. You can pull this out and then push it all the way back in. Okay. All right. So again, if you guys haven't yet, I would love for you to hit the thumbs up. Like I said, we are nearing 200,000 followers, which is amazing. If you are looking for more tutorials, as I mentioned, they are coming. I am going to be publishing those over the next couple of, wow, I did it. Over the next couple of weeks so that you know how to set it up. I think the first one will probably go out on Tuesday. I typically release new videos on Tuesday. I release new videos for members of the channel on Mondays. I call it Member Monday. If you are looking for, that is kind of an extension of Silhouette You. If you are looking for one-on-one help, if you are looking for personalized help, if you are looking for same-day support, if you're looking for exclusive videos that I don't put here on YouTube, Silhouette You, I actually think that I forgot to put that in the description below, but it is Silhouette You, kind of like Silhouette School blog. This is Silhouette U, like university. And that is my premium membership website. No ads. It is supported by membership. We have monthly, 6-month, and yearly. And there's tons of benefits, but the three biggest benefits, I should say, are you get one-on-one support. We have 4 different types, live Q&As, chat help directly with me. There's actually one today, a chat help session. Which is just one-on-one, so you can ask a question and not be embarrassed that someone else is more advanced than you and they already know the answer. You're just with me. Personalized email support, which is a private email inbox only for members, a private Facebook page only for members, and we have a library of over 700 videos that are exclusively for members. Again, not here on YouTube. Every month you get $15, $14.99 to get designs and fonts of your choice, which actually pays for the membership itself. So anyway, tons of stuff to do. So I guess that is it. I am so thankful that you guys joined. Again, hit the thumbs up on your way out. Any links that you're looking for in the description below, from the printer itself, different bundles, to the heat press, to the designs that we used. And I will add the link to the sweatshirts as well. And have a happy Thursday.